Imagine that you can double your sales in a quarter, or that you can implement an extraordinary innovation that will propel your business forward. Setting up goals is not only fundamental to surviving, but also to thriving in a super competitive world of business. Whether you are a startup founder, a seasoned entrepreneur, or a marketing manager, having a clear path towards your success is essential. But how many of us really know what they are going for and how they are going to achieve that? How many of us have a clear path and way or framework to achieve goals? In today's video, I'm going to tell you about an extraordinary way to set up and achieve goals, and even the most ambitious ones. So objectives and key results are a methodology that was used by multiple dozens of companies in Silicon Valley to pave way to success. I don't remember exactly where I heard about OKRs, but I remember that once I have implemented the OKR methodology into one of my businesses, I immediately was hooked. So after the first couple of weeks, we've seen extraordinary results, and all I wanted to do was to implement this methodology into different businesses of mine and to squeeze the most out of this method. An objective is your goal stated in a qualitative manner. It is essentially what gets your team excited, what makes them come to work every single day. Key results, on the other hand, are the milestones that you are going to measure. They are quantitative, specific, and most importantly, measurable. Just to give you an example, if your goal is to, for example, increase brand awareness, then your objective in the OKR methodology would be become a thought leader in the industry. And key results that are connected to this objective could include things like achieve a 50% increase of followers on social media platforms, or for example, publish 20 guest posts in industry leading blogs. Another one like host monthly webinars with at least 300 participants each. And I know that this might sound really simple to you, but the magic about OKRs is that if you host the session of setting up the goals good enough, and I'm going to get to that in a second, and if you will keep your team motivated, meaning that your OKRs will not only be written on the paper and hidden in a drawer, but they will be, for example, discussed bi-weekly or at least monthly. In my opinion, bi-weekly is something that might be pretty interesting. And also that the smaller tasks that your team is handling, whatever this is, an HR team, marketing team, sales team, or executive team, these tasks are connected to those key results. And in this way, you are leading your business in a direction that you want your business to go, and at the same time you're able to set up tasks that are meaningful, and also you can hold yourself and your team accountable for setting up these tasks that are actually relevant. Because very often we are getting distracted by low-hanging fruits, by the shiny objects and things that come into the way that are maybe not as important to the growth of ourselves or our businesses or our departments. Remember that effective objectives should be ambitious enough to push your team, but at the same time clear enough that everyone understands the direction in which you are heading. They should inspire action, but at the same time be connected with your business values and long-term vision. Companies like Google, LinkedIn, or Intel have used OKRs in the past not only to dream big, but also to act big. Their objectives are often designed to push the capabilities of their teams, ensuring that even if they will not meet the objective, the substantial progress towards this objective will be made. I hope that I explained the general idea. If you so far liked the video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also consider to joining my B2B Tactics bi-weekly broadcast that I'm sending over with some ideas to increase sales and grow the business. So the general idea behind OKRs is very simple. Here's where the tricky part comes in. Setting up the goals might be pretty tricky. I had sessions of setting up OKRs that were as fast as 1 hour, and I've had these that lasted the whole day. And I definitely prefer the first ones than the latter. What I think is pretty important for all of the leaders, all of the people that are driving the OKR process, whatever you are, a marketing manager or an owner of the business or an executive, it is good to actually think about things that you want to achieve prior to the meeting in a particular, let's say, areas of your area of expertise, let's say marketing, or the whole business. So let's say HR and sales, right? So depending on the situation, you want to have at least generic field in which you want to people get inspired or to brainstorm on what is that we want to achieve. And of course, depending on your company policy structure and the way that you guys go about things, you may not actually utilize what I'm going to say, but I always try to get input from employees, from managers, from people that are working with me as to what we can improve in which areas. And oftentimes during the OKR sessions, we have a Miro board, and you can find, by the way, dozens of Miro boards that can help you facilitate the OKR meetings. And I recommend you to do that because this works really, really well. And it also speeds up the time of meeting greatly. If you are working with these people and you are brainstorming on that, you can give everyone a minute or a couple of minutes, throw ideas on canvas to see what things are being repeated often and also what things are important to the company and how you can group them in a more broader objectives or sometimes key results. And depending on, of course, the session and the way you handle things, setting up one objective for, let's say, one department and attaching a couple of key results to it can really be helpful to drive things forward in your organization. I recommend quarter as the time period for which you are setting up the goals. I have tried to do this for a period of a year in the past and 6 months, and I have to say that it was not as efficient, mostly because I used to own smaller businesses in a range between 10 to 40 people. Things sometimes change dramatically. Sometimes they require the agility and action from the owner. And using quarter as a sort of a time box for setting things up, I think works very, very well. Last but not least, don't forget about having these review meetings that I've mentioned. And what I'm doing personally is that I always have the OKRs as bi-weekly status element. So we are discussing weekly tasks on one meeting on Monday, and at the same time, we every second week try to attach OKRs to these meetings in order to make sure that we are actually on track with all of the things and we are not getting distracted by those shiny objects that I've mentioned earlier. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I hope that you are going to at least give OKRs a try. If you have any questions about OKRs and how you can use them in your business, just feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. Have a great rest of your day and thanks for watching.